Welcome everybody. I hope you guys are having an awesome day and welcome to today's flights. Today we're going to be doing two flights in the beautiful Ifly 737-MAX 8. First flight for today is going to be from Bangkok, we're currently right now, all the way up to Beijing in China. A flight time of roughly 5 hours, going to fly as Hainan 430, if I pronounce that correctly. I'm not Chinese, so I'm not sure. But let's go cockpit and let's get the flight going. Welcome to the aircraft. As you can see, our aircraft is completely cold and dark, so let's just carefully move in and welcome. And let's go in the cockpit. So I'm just going to quickly close the door behind me. And let's see. So welcome to the cockpit. We are completely cold and dark, so let's go in the captain's seat and let's get the aircraft powered up. So battery connected and ground power connected as well. So it's some dome lights on. So IRS to navigation on both. Get the panel lights on to full bright. Circuit breaker lights don't need it for now. And let's start on those. Flight controls are all covered. Yaw damper stay off. Navigation to normal on all sides. Displays on auto and normal. Fuel pump stay off for now. Let's select due to battery into ground power. Cabin utilities can come on. Ground power connected. Standby power is good. And let's see. Windshield wiper is off. Lights are off on the nose. Lights are set on overhead panel. Emergency light arm. Seatbelt signs on. Window heat can come on. Anti-ice off. Trolley pump stay off for now. Trim air on. Both packs can come on even though we have no bleed source. APU bleed stay offline for now. And let's see. We're going to fly at flight level 370. So let's select that immediately. We're going to take the logo light and the strobe light to steady. Go to the downstairs panel and let's turn on the panel brightness. So Unicom and guard frequency is selected. Squawk selected to 2000. And weather radar is good. For the primary flight displays, we can get the panel lights on both sides. And let's get the flight plan and everything else put in. So sim menu. So we are go to the, if I hate when that happens. So performance and payload data, go to weight and balance. Let's get aircraft loaded up. Passenger number for today is going to be 135 passengers. And for cargo, let me see, 2.2, so 1100. 1100. So let's see, zero fuel weight of 59.2, that is good. Fuel for today is going to be 1000, so let's see, 12,705 kilograms. 705. Gonna use approximately 191 kilograms taxing out and planned trip fuel of 9,550 kilograms. So set payload, set fuel, press complete, and let's request boarding. So we are now loaded up. Oh, I have to adjust you, but that's okay. So let's go to the FMC and let's get the aircraft. So we are currently at Victor Tango Bravo Sierra. A bit of a freeze up, but to Tango Bravo Sierra, and let's see, put the GPS position in. The route you're going to fly for today is going to be to Charlie Bravo Alpha Alpha. Request flight plan. Passenger boarding has started. Flight plan can now be loaded in. And I'm going to fly as Charlie Hotel 430. Departure runway going to be 20 left. Can activate the flight plan. Go to departure and let's get our departure put in. So I'm just quickly going to get that. Let's see. Departing out of runway 20 left via the Albo 1 Golf. Insert. Confirm. Pre-flight initial station data. Do not have that, I forgot that. So departure fuel of 1.7. Let's see, that's actually going to be 1. Let's see, 1.5. Yeah, let's see, 1.5 actually, because we're gonna use some taxi fuel. Zero fuel weight for today is going to be 59.2. And reserve fuel of 2.9. When the fly at flight level 370. Cruiser wind is going to be from 249 at 060. Temperature at top of climb will be negative 48 degrees Celsius. Actually not that cold. And we're going to transition at 11,000 feet, which is correct. So let's go and get our flight plan put in here, and we have the winds. I'm just going to double check that against the winds I have in Navigaph. So winds 190 at 10. Temperature at 30 and altimeter is 1009. Flap configuration, let's try 5. Air conditioning on, anti-ice off. Calculate. Let's try TO2. Alright, that's not possible. Let's try TO1. Alright, TO1 works. So let's see, TO1, so V1 45, 46, 53. And I'm going to use D1 with 38. So 38. I'm going to fix that while I wait. So 38. Flaps to 5 center of gravity at 18.8. Runway winds 190 at 190 at 10. Let's see, runway slope 20 left, there we are. 00.0. And good on that page. So 43, 44 and 45. Oh, 145. Come on. 146 and then 153. Auto brake to RTO, and you are complete. Select you to the VNAV page. Alright, V2 to 153. Flight director auto throttle can come to arm position. We are on VATSIM, but no tower is online, so ensure climb flight level 370. 370 has been selected, and we select our altimeter to 1009. And let's start the APU at the same time. Take the yaw damper on, roller pump stay off. L and V now can be armed. We are good on this page. Alright, let's do the walk around. Alright, welcome to the ground. Let's get the aircraft checked out and make sure we are fit to fly. So, pitot cover is removed this side, and an angle of attack vane looks good on this side as well. Coming on, we have the nose wheel splitters crouch down, and let's see. The landing gear bay itself on nose gear looking good, no damage on everything else in here. The landing gear itself looking fine, strut is good, tires itself is great. Lights looking good. Lights, that is not lights, that's a wrong aircraft type actually. So, static cover is uncovered on both the upper and lower. Wing light is also uncovered. Coming up we have the pack air inlet, which is closed for now, but because we have packs aren't running. The landing lights and taxi lights on the flat are good. The inboard wing is great. Coming up on the engine itself is looking great. Fan blades looks undamaged, and same for the side of the engine. Following out we have the leading edge slats, which are looking great. Then navigation light is working, wing light is working, and the pit static covers, static wicks are undamaged. Winglet and aileron is looking good. Inboard flaps or leading edge flaps looking great. I mean trailing edge, not leading edge. Looking great on all sides, and the fairing itself is undamaged. And hydraulic rain is good for APU. Radio altimeter is uncovered. Coming up we have the wheel itself. The tires are looking great, strut is looking great, and brake pins are within limits. And of course we have to do the obligatory check the landing gear bay. Alright, so it looks great from this side, no damage or anything else in here. So, moving along, we have the rear fuselage, which is looking great. The toilet drain valve is not clogged and looks great. The tail, the landing gear, or the tail skid is it's undamaged, which is great. No tail slack in recent time. Rotor stabilizer and elevator is looking great. The tail is looking good on this side. APU is looking good. Tail lights are looking great. Other edge on the side of tail is looking great. Same for rotor stabilizer and the elevator. APU door is open. Cabin air relief, cabin air valve is open, which it should be. Looks like loading is complete in the rear. Excuse me. Fuselage is looking great on this side as well, coming along the fairing. It looks great. Trailing edge flaps looking great. Let's see, tires looking great. Brakes are within limit, shot is undamaged, and landing gear pin has been removed, and it's looking good on this side as well. Following the flaps out, looking great. Same for the aileron, and of course the winglet and static wicks. Wing light is working, navigation light looks to be working. Following the leading edge slats, looking great coming up on the engine. Fairing is undamaged. Fan blades are undamaged, and the same go for the other side of the engine. Landing lights are good, fairing is good, and packed air is closed. And of course the radar altimeter door is uncovered. Radar altimeter door, the antenna. Static port is uncovered, and same for the aileron. The pitot tubes on this side, and the angle slack ground power is connected because it's the APU power. And let's move ahead of the pushback truck. And the nose cone looks undamaged as well. So let's go back inside. And walk around is now complete, so let's go and close the door behind us. And I believe we can actually now get ready for our pushback. So, fuel pumps all on. We have fuel in the center tank, so let's just close the, let's turn on the fuel pumps. Facing north, hydraulic pumps on. APU is running, so both packs can come off. Over the great, ignition to the left. And other than that, it's looking great. So, parking brake is off. And of course, I forgot to disconnect the ground equipment. So let's see, remove you and trucks. Alright, standard procedure number 2, spooling up and beacon light select on. And since we're flying a 737-MAX 8, we have to wait for engine to motor before we can actually introduce the fuel. I've got my knuckles. Engine is motoring. That happens. Alright, we'll just have to quickly fix that. So, fuel can be introduced. Come on. Load. Yes, I know we know how to load, but you don't need to use an hour on that. There we are. Number 1. So let's see, isolation valve closed and right pack on. And motoring. Parking brake set. Alright, 25, so adding a fuel. Have to calibrate you a little bit better, it looks like. Roger that. Alright, we have 2 good engine starts. I'm gonna quickly fix something on my axis. Alright, now should be more about to calibrate. Alright, left's clear, right is clear. So, dome light off, engine 1 and 2 generator connected. APU select off, engine ignition 2 on. Ventilation valve and left pack on. Flaps to 5. And let's see, trim to 6.6, so 61, and it is already set. I actually forgot that, I do it automatically in the Ifly plane. So, VNav and LNav is selected, no slide to taxi. Alright, he's moving away. Turner flights can come on this side and other side. And selected to do APU and the generator 1 and the battery. Other than that, we are great. So, parking brake. Off, thrust can be increased. Alright, aircraft is rolling. So we are taxiing to runway 20 left. And let me quickly get the taxi chart in front of me. There we go. So I'm gonna continue taxiing down the Tango 13. Then take a left onto Golf and then onto Delta. And then on taxi on Delta till we get to the runway 20. Cross runway 20 right, then onto 20 left, and then take off from there. After takeoff, we're going to be doing an immediate flying straight out and then taking a right-hand turn sometime after departure. And after that, we're going to continue on our departure out to the route, continue north towards China and Beijing. And of course, in case anything happens, we will fly straight out, turn around and come in, and most likely land on runway 20 right, because that is a little bit longer. Either that or we're going to use the 0, I believe it is 17 actually, the runway on the other side of the airport. And if worst case comes, we can just come in and land on runway 02, the runway that is straight. It's the other way around from where we are departing. And of course, runway length is going to be 3,700 meters, so we have more than enough runway for us to maneuver. And in case we have to do the abort takeoff, we'll just continue. The runway is more than long enough. Let's see, we're going to use the Echo 3 and cross runway 20 right, and then on to Foxtrot, Whiskey, then on to Foxtrot 1, and then on to runway 20 left. No, sorry, was wrong. We're going to continue on Delta all the way to the end. It was me reading the wrong runway. No, I'm not correct. Yes, we're going straight on. So, let's see, 2 more instructions to go. Not that far. Yes, flaps 5 is leading this departure, and we are reducing a turbo thrust. Temperature is high, but not too high. Temperature, humidity 75%. Which should be fine. So let's see, we're coming up on the Delta. And I'm going to take the intersection right here. So let's see, runway 20 left, straight ahead, and we are go.
Approaching 20 left.
Bangkok traffic, Hainan 430, lining up runway 20 left. So, landing lights on, wing light on, and position light to blinking mode, or stop and steady. Transponder to TRARA, weather radar on. Let's get the data on this side. Terrain radar for the first officer side.
On runway 20 left.
So, we are on runway, flaps is selected, speed brakes are great, auto brake RTO is arm, lights are all selected, sun seatbelt sign is on. Bangkok traffic, Hainan 430, taking off runway 20 left. So, thrusts 40%. Clock started, and click spot, so no, let's go straight up to takeoff power. And takeoff power is set. Eight knots. And rotate. Alright, turn to get tail strike, so nose to 15 degrees, possible to climb, gear up. .500 feet. Nose down to 10 degrees. And 1000 feet. And 1500 feet, autopilot selected to on position, climb thrust has been set, flaps to 1, 32 I mean. Alright, 2000 feet, nose lights off. And we have been over that panel for now. Alright, flaps up. Absolutely love that flash retraction sound. So, flaps is up, auto brake to off. And let's see, we are on Unicom and nothing else is worrying us. And 250 knots coming in there. So, 4,000 feet. I don't believe there is much more for me to say. So I will stop talking and talk to us when we are descending into Beijing. closing in on 11,000 feet. Aircraft is now descending at a nice rate. So we're now inbound runway 36 left for Beijing, and we're going to descend to 9,010 meters. Because in China they use meters, not feet in altitude, even though everything is put up on the chart in feet. But let's go and get the aircraft fully prepared for our arrival. So we are going to have to get our performance chart, and let's show you to landing. And let's see, it's going to be dry and winds from 350 and 2 meters per second. Yes. Temperature is going to be 6 degrees Celsius. Temperature, QNH 1016. Brakes, let's try auto brake 2, flaps to 30. Air conditioning on, anti-ice off, auto brake 1. Let's try that instead. And let's see, landing distance is going to be 2,900, let's say 3,000 meters. And let me see the runway length. Let's go to airport chart. So let's see. Let's see, 36 left. You are there. Alright, so 10,000, 3,200 meters. Let's just try auto brake 2 instead. As for the limits of flaps 30, auto brake 2, and landing speed is going to be 150 knots. That's with VRF 30 plus 5. So 30/150. Auto brake 2 for our landing. QNH 1010. Seatbelt sign can come on. Same for the logo light. Landing lights can go down to the flashing position. And ignition can stay as is for now. Alright, so we're now below 10,000 feet. Speed is going to be 240 knots. We are closing in on the second final turn. And let's see, we're now flying over Charlie Bravo Alpha Delta, I believe. Yes. Which is an airport just outside of Beijing. And I don't think I have a scenery for this, or it just has loaded in yet. I don't think I have seen that. I believe that is why it is completely blank. But let's get aircraft prepared. So we are now within the 40 nautical mile range. And let's see, let's just quickly tune the ILS. And let's see, it's going to be 11170. 11170. Course 001. Same goes for heading. Minimum is going to be 257 to the radio. ...257 feet set. And let's see. So we have done I can do the arrival briefing before we do that. So inbound runway 36 left. We are going to be landing on the runway, which is going to be the farthest to the left of the airport at all. We're going to land. In case anything happens, we will just go around, take an immediate left-hand turn after go around, continue following the route, which the approach route. Hold short at holding at the PEC VOR. After that, we will do another attempt into the runway 36. If that doesn't work, we'll do another attempt, or we can just divert Charlie Bravo Alpha Delta instead. I hope we don't have to do that. But visibility is more than 10, there is no cloud layer at all, and temperature is at plus 6 degrees Celsius, winds are at 2 meters per second, so there's more or less nothing. So let's go quickly, I've got you. Yes. And we're descending to what will be 3,000 feet, but in reality we should be 2,960 feet. But this display doesn't, this autopilot can't go that precise, so we just have to go to 3,000 feet and then go from there. So let's see, are the runway in sight? Alright, we have the airport in sight. Here we are. Close should soon start with our flap program. I don't see any form of restrictions flying in this. And we are, let's see, localizer and ILS is alive. Closing in on 20 miles, that is good. Means we can shortly activate our ILS. Alright, speed to 205 knots, I'm taking mine under control, flap 5. Approach mode can be activated, so localizer has been captured. A little bit high, that's good. Not good, but it's fine. So landing lights all on, take you all on, and wing light can come on, triple sign is on, ignition is selected, and everything else is set. Glide slope has been captured. Distance 15 miles out, speed 200 knots. Alright, so from the top we have the flap selected to 5. Keep it at that for now. We take auto brake 2 is arm, lights are all on for now. Alright, 10 miles out. speed 210 knots. Sorry, 108 knots. And we can take gear on. So, gear on, 3 green, flaps 10. Speed brake is armed. And
2500.
after that, ground is inside, but we cannot see the airport, but we have a little bit to go before we have to see the airport anyway. Right, 6 miles out, speed to 160 knots. And flaps 30. So, flaps set for landing, gear down to green, lights are all selected, and I'm just going to quickly warn the cabin crew. So, 1900 feet, speed is great, distance 5 miles. Alright, we have the terminal in sight. I'm reducing speed to the final landing speed of 150 knots. Everything is selected for arrival. Runway in sight. Control. Nose a little bit up.
$1,000.
Stabilized, we can continue.
Approaching 3-6 left.
Alright, correct runway has been confirmed. Puppy lights, 2 white, 2 red. I'm switching my view.
500. 400. 300. 200. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
And
100.
continue. So,
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
alright, on the run, versus deployed. Alright, at the next exit. And 60 knots, I have manual controls of brakes, thrust, reverse thrust can come back down. So, flaps up, speed brake can come back down. And let's brake the aircraft. So, landing lights off. Sign off lights are not needed in the middle of the day. Ignition can come back down. Strobe light to steady. Wing light can come off. And we take the APU to start. APU bleed off. And welcome to Beijing. Alright, let's taxi down to the terminal, and I believe we can take taxi down to the terminal number 1, I believe. I'm gonna see what GSX want me to do. And let's see, gate. $110 should be fine for us. Of course, follow me, and no. Can you use China Airline? China Air. Yes. So, flaps up, speed brake down, landing lights are off, taxi lights selected to daylight mode, logo light can actually come off. APU is starting up, and we can just take you, blank you out, take you to the systems page. And the brakes are just 150 Celsius, which is well within limits. Flight directors can come off. Alright, we're gonna take the next left onto Charlie, and then taxi on Mike. As we are on Charlie, we're gonna taxi on Mike. That is the correct phraseology. Let's just turn here, and I believe I'm actually gonna have to turn off my transponder since we are on the ground. And we're not in the US of A. And let me just quickly get a double check that we are actually taxiing, so just show me the spot. Alright, so yes, we're gonna have to taxi. Take the next intersection, just to get the more clearer path straight in. The less they have to turn, the better. And APU gen is off and running, so let's connect that, and I'm just going to disconnect both of the engines because it would be more comfortable for passengers once they are shut down. And then we're going to do a quick turnaround, and we're going to get going again to our final destination of today. This one right here. So lights can actually come off, and we are good. Brakes, so parking brake set, and engine 2 and engine number 1 off. So, waiting for you N2 to come below 20. And let's see, seatbelt sign can come off, hydraulic pumps can come off, floor bead can actually stay as is, fuel pumps can come off. Waiting for N2 below 20%. Beacon light selected off, and let's request the boarding. Lower deck can come back on since we are on the ground. So let's see, we are let's see. So we are shut down. Fuel pumps are off. I'm gonna take cabin until this can stay on for now. I'm gonna do a quick turnaround anyways. Seatbelt sign is off. Hydraulic pumps is off, and rest can stay as is for now. Alright, so let's go and get the next flight plan ready. Yes, so let's see, back, performance and payload, and let's see, show takeoff data, and I'm just going to quickly get a copy from the company. Alright, the flight plan has now been received, so I'm just going to quickly go and get the aircraft loaded up. So let's see, we are now having our kitting loaded aboard, because we needed a little refresh. And let's see, clear. So we are going to be carrying down to a city which I am probably going to butcher the name of. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Let's see, we are flying to Guangzhou in China. It's very close to Hong Kong if you want the reference to where it is. And let's see, now that that has been butchered, let's get its aircraft loaded up. So we're going to be carrying 146 passengers, so 146 passengers. Go for the cargo. Going to carry 2.3, so 1150. 1150. And for the fuel, we are going to be carrying 10 tons and 552 kilograms, so 10552. Taxi fuel, same as this last one, 191. Trip fuel, 6903. And we can now request the boarding. So, set payload, set fuel, good. And we are on that, complete U. And let's see, copy FMC data, and I have to change that. So let's see, back to the route. So we are flying from Charlie Bravo Alpha Alpha to Charlie Golf Golf Golf. Just going to request the flight plan immediately. It's not that long of a flight plan, but it's I'm lazy. Let's see, activate and execute. So we're departing out of runway 36 right, going to be flying as Hainan Charlie Hotel, and it's going to be 7803. Departure is going to be out of the 36 right via the Rust 9 Charlie, sorry, the Rust 9 Charlie, this is the departure. Alright, that has now been loaded in. So for fuel, we're going to be carrying 10.5 tons of fuel. Zero fuel weight for the day is going to be 60.3. And reserve fuel going to be of 2.9 exactly. Cruise winds going to be from 254 at 069. Temperature at top of climb will be negative 46 degrees Celsius. 46. Wrong page. There. And let's see, 9,850 feet. Correct. Go to the next page. And we can now get the aircraft. So let's see. Copy FMC data. And I'm just going to quickly get the winds. So winds from 320 at 3 meters per second. Temperature is at 9 degrees Celsius. QNH 1010, same as last time, and takeoff weight same. So let's try TO2. No, TO2 I mean. Alright, TO1 it is then. So flaps 5 and 42 degrees. So select U, add 42. And flaps 5. 19.9, and departure is going to be 320 at, I have to convert that to knots. Let's see, we have 2 meters per second, so let's see, 3 I mean. So at 0.6 knots. And let's see, V1 43, 44, 45. So 143, 144, and then it's going to be 151, 151. And pre-flight complete. So let's select auto brake to RTO. We are currently on the APU power. We can just keep it as is for now. Let's take the ignition over to the right, because this is the second flight of today. Flight directors both on, and we can arm the auto thrust. Initial climb is going to be flight level 3. Let's see, 360, 100 feet. So 36,100 feet. I don't know. I believe that is a specific number in meters. I'm not that good with head calculations. So 11,000 meters on the nose. L and VNAV can both be armed. And we are good on the overhead page. Yes. Let's do the walk around and make sure the aircraft is safe. Alright, welcome to the ground. Let's go and get the aircraft inspected. So, nose cone itself, it looks undamaged. I can't see anything. Pitot tube body side is uncovered, and obstacle vane is also uncovered and undamaged. Nose wheel gear bay looks okay. The strut itself is good, no hydraulic leaks or anything. And of course the wheel itself, strut is looking good, and the nose wheel turning mechanism is looking great. Static ports are both undamaged, and same for the radial altimeter. Wing light and fuselage is undamaged, and back door is open for now. See, landing lights are okay, turn lights are okay, slats on this side is okay, on the engine itself looks fine. Fan blades are looking okay after that flight, and same for also have the engine. Moving down on the slats, they also looks undamaged. We have no port hitting anything. The green lights are still okay, static widths are okay. We had in flight when thunderstorms. Coming on, we have the aileron and the flaps. The SFR are looking great, no damage on this side as well. And let's see. Both rear tires are looking good on this side. The brake wear pins are well within limits. No damage in the landing gear bay. Coming up, we have the APU exhaust, or not to be precise, the APU shroud and hydraulic drain. So in case something leaks over there, they will drain out over here. And of course, the radial altimeter on this side is good. No damage on fuselage as well. Moving along. Excuse me. Tail skid is undamaged. Horizontal stabilizer and elevator is good, save for the tail. And tail lights are still working, the same goes for the other side, looks undamaged. APU door is of course open, APU will be running if it wasn't. Oh my gosh, I walked into you. And dancing ground crew, that's something new. And we are moving on, we have no damage, visible damage, and the cabin pressure relief valve is open. Aircraft itself is looking good. Coming up, we have the left, so the right wheel. Tires are looking good, struts great, and brake wear pins are within limits. No damage on this side as well. Moving along, we have the flaps looking great. Coming up on the ailerons, looking great as well. Winglet and static wicks are looking great. Coming up, we have the navigation light, of course, undamaged. Coming up on the slats, undamaged as well. Have the engine itself, it is looking completely undamaged. Fan blades good on this side. Then the cowlings to this side. We have the landing and turner flights are looking great. Packs are open. Coming on fuselage, wing light is looking good. Let's quickly go beneath here. Static ports is good. The pitot tubes are no damage on, of course, uncovered. Same goes for the angle of deck when the GPU door is closed and locked. And the little aircraft looks good from here. So let's go back inside the aircraft. And I believe boarding should be completed in the next second now. Alright, so boarding has now been completed. So let's close the door. And let's jump in the captain's seat. And let's get a pushback going. So, request pushback. And let's see. I have to actually change my call sign before I forget to do that. Let's quickly disconnect and connect again. File menu flight plan. Let's see, we are going to go with the facing. I believe we are right. Alright, beacon light, select on hydraulic pumps, select on fuel pumps, all on. Engine bleeds on, isolation valve open. We are good on the rest of the page. So parking brake off. Starting number 2. Forgot to turn off the packs. That's an easy mistake to make. Alright, we should just pass through the portal. And let's see, motoring at 22%, which is good. Alright, motoring is complete, so adding fuel. And 56%. Alright, close the isolation valve, open the pack, and let's start number 1. Alright, parking brake has been set. Alright, motoring completed, so 25%. So adding fuel. That was a very good view of the engine, right into the blind. And both engines look to be running fine. And I absolutely love the sounds. Both studio work has done above and beyond. Roger that. That can actually confirm, and let's see. So both engines are now running. Engine to continuous, ignition to continuous, I mean, and generator on. EPU can come off and time for a bleed. Power off. Pitot tubes can come to the on position of the heat flaps. And confirm selected to 5, and we have trim has already been set. You are good. So full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder left and rudder right. Now slide to taxi, parking brake, select off, thrust increased, and let's go. We have a good way to taxi, we have a long way to taxi today, so we are just going to get started. Taxi down to the taxiway Foxtrot, and then we'll just follow that more or less to the end. Alright, passing Zulu 3, and let's take on to Foxtrot taxiway. on the terrain radar on this side as well. Slight little bump on the throttle. Alright, coming up on, let's see, that is Whiskey 1. Going to use the next one of Whiskey 2. Beijing traffic, Hainan 7803, going to line up and immediate takeoff on runway 36 right via Whiskey 0. So right, nose lights to on position, turn lights can come on, and same for the rest of the lights.
Approaching 36 right.
After that, and of course transponder transmitting weather radar on my side, and flaps selected to 5, speed brakes are down, auto brake to RTO, and of course fuel 11.4, we are within limits.
On runway 36 right.
So thrust to roughly 40%. So 40% toga and clock start. Knots.
V1.
Rotate. rate of climb, gear up. Nose to 15 degrees. (1,000 feet), autopilot on. And beautiful departure out of Beijing, as always. Alright, climb thrust has been selected, so no slides can come off. We'll keep the ignition on for a little bit longer. So righty, 2,200 feet, flaps up. And of course auto brake off. Ignition can come off. Wing and low ride can actually come off at the same time. So 3,000 feet. Some turbulence. Alright, so 4,000 feet, I don't believe there's much for me to say, so we'll stop talking until we're sending it to our destination. Closing in on 10,000 feet. Let's get the aircraft prepared for our arrival into our destination. I'm not going to try to say it. So 10,000 feet, landing lights to flashing, seatbelt sign can come on. Ignition continuous, logo light on, wing light on, and rest day off. And I'm going to get the weather. So let's see, QNH 1011. So let's get the landing. So copy FMC data, conditions. Heavy showers of rain, so wet. Winds from 220 at 2 meters per second. Temperature at 24 degrees Celsius. QNH 1011. And let's see, we can try with flaps to 30. Flaps 30, auto brake 1 maybe. Yes. So flaps 30, auto brake 1, VRF 148. So 30/148 knots. Auto brake to 1. Below 10,000 feet, speed is great. We are about 20 nautical miles out, 25 I mean. And we are in the bumpiness. And let's see, is there any more speed restrictions? No. Alright, 1,000 feet to go. Let's select our final altitude of 4,900 feet. And of course we have to set our ILS frequency before I forget to do that. So ILS is 10850. 10850. And course of 017. And let's see, we are coming down with the ILS, and we can select our minimums to 244. Speed to 210 knots, ranged 25 nautical miles, yes. Yes, we're going to be using we are flying at 210 knots because of speed restrictions, so we're going to be, I guess, in a couple of minutes to be on the ground, so let's get the cabin on them for landing. So let's see, the winds are 20220 at 2 meters per second, visibility is more than 10, cloud layer at 1,300 feet, rain clouds at 4,000 feet, broken clouds at 4,600 feet, conditions heavy showered of rain, and I saw some thunder, so possibly that. Temperature 24 degrees Celsius and dew point 22, so there is a high chance of, it could be some fog, highly doubted, but there is a chance. And altimeter 1011, exit. Lights to on. So 22 nautical miles out. Alright, so we are now yes, so flaps 5. I'm taking manual control and speed to 200 knots. Alright, below 20, so autopilot on. Autopilot approach mode on. So flaps 5. And our speed brakes are still too early for gear. We are 16 miles out. Alright, glide slope has been captured. And the city started coming into view. Forgot the flight path vector on because since we are experiencing some turbulence and I can see the rain over there. Alright, we are now 11 miles out. Flaps are at 5 degrees. Speed at that, there are lightning. That was what I believe I saw some lightning further down, and we are just passing that, but we are in China and it is spring, so we are expecting that. Alright, speed to 180 knots, we're now below 10 miles. And we are expecting to get go to the cloud layer at 1,300 feet. Roger that. Gear up. Speed 160 knots. And flaps can go to 15. Sorry, 10. Alright, lights all on. Cabin is for landing and everything else is set. Alright, we are getting the runway in sight. This part of the strip right there. Alright, below 6 miles, speed to the final speed of 148, flaps 30. So, light set, gear down, trigger green, auto brake 1 is armed, speed brakes are armed, runway is in sight, we are at 1600 feet. Autopilot off, I have control. And stabilized, we can continue.
Approaching 0, 2 right.
Alright, correct runway has been confirmed. Alright, below 500 feet, I'm switching view.
Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
And continue.
100. 50. 40, 30, 20,
long landing.
10.
On the ground. Nose wheel on the ground. So, reversers are deployed. Manual brakes. Alright, below 60 knots, auto brakes left off, and let's turn off here. So, 50 knots, take the flaps, speed brakes.
Caution, on taxiway, on taxiway.
So, thrust reversers is stowed back in, the flaps can come up, speed brakes can come down, landing lights can come off, turn off lights can come off. And shore bride to steady, and let's see, we have to taxi a little bit further and then we'll take the stance at the North Terminal 2. 157 should be fine for us. Show me the spot and activate, so it's over there, yes. So we have officially hit rain. And there the thunder is starting to come in. So APU started. And let's cross the runway right here. And left is clear, right is clear, let's cross the runway.
Approaching 20 right.
Strobe lights on before I forget, and we are clear. So we're now going to taxi away. And let's see, clear off runway, strobe lights back to steady, transponder can come off. Keep us up the taxiway. And ignition can now come off. APU generator can be connected, APU bleed and engine bleed can come off. And of course flight director is off on both sides. And we are good. Isolation valve can come to the fully open position. And let's try to actually follow the taxiway and not drive onto the wrong stand. Alright, the stand over there. So we was able to follow the wrong. Ah, there we are. Alright, stand 157 or 157 coming up, so nose lights off. Let's carefully turn on the stand, and we are overshot it slightly. Straight up. Alright, parking brakes set, thrust fully idle, APU is powering everything, so engine 1 and 2. Coming off, seatbelt sign can come off, fuel pumps all off, hydraulic pumps, electric off, pitot tubes off. And good on the overhead panel. Let's start with the shutdown procedure. And let's see, wait if you're to get below 20%. Alright, below, beacon light select off. Boarding can be requested. And let's start with the shutdown procedure. So all fuel pumps are off, we are on APU power, so we have to connect our ground power and switch over to that. And go to the ground support, set the trucks, and the electric and the air conditioning, because it is quite hot here. Alright, so let's start from top. Ground power connected, APU can actually come off, engine hydraulic pumps can come off, keep the engine APU bleed off, engine bleed can come on, both packs can stay on since we are to keep the air conditioning going. And let's see, so window heat all off, pumps are off, ignition to both, low light can stay as is for now. And let's see, transponder is off, automatic and standby, and we are good on panel there, and the rest looks good. So we are now ready to leave the aircraft. Welcome to our destination. I hope you guys enjoyed both of these flights, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my channel page for more awesome videos. And if you want to watch more of my videos, there should be a playlist on screen right now, or you can check my channel page for more playlist. Other than that, I'll see you in this video. Fly word out. Have a awesome day, and goodbye.